Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and today I'm going to be ranking all of the main features in Minecraft 1.19, the Wild Update. So we're going to be going through all of the main additions to this update and ranking them here on this board, starting at the top with the S tier meaning the best and F at the bottom here meaning the worst. Now just a quick disclaimer before we begin. I don't think any of these features are bad exactly. Any addition to Minecraft is a welcome one in my opinion. So if I put something in the F tier down the bottom, it doesn't mean I think it's a bad feature and that Mojang shouldn't put it in the game. I just mean I don't like it as much as the ones that are going to go higher than it. So basically the scale goes like this. F, meh. E, yeah, okay. D, pretty good. C, really good. B, great. A, amazing, and S is super duper. Okay, we are nearly ready to get started, but before we do, if you want to play along at home, feel free to write out a comment a bit like this, and then as we go through each feature, you can put it in its respective tier according to what you think of the feature, and then when you're all done, you can post your comment, and I, along with the rest of you viewers, can see what everybody thinks of the Minecraft 1.19 update. Our first feature is one of the new mobs, the Allay, which is pretty cool, I must say. I'm always happy to welcome a new mob into the game with open arms. It's great if you're a redstoner. I don't know how much you'll actually use this, but a new mob, as I said, is always a good thing, so we're going to put it in the A tier. Next up, we have the Ancient Cities, which doesn't really come in block form, so we're having to use ancient debris here, but this is a massive new underground structure added to the game. It was meant to come with the Caves and Cliffs update, but it's so big and so advanced and so massive that it just took too long to complete, but it was well worth the wait. I cannot wait to explore this in my survival world. Third on the list is the chest boat, which I'm surprised has taken this long to actually add into the game. It seems like a no-brainer, right? Really cool though. I don't think it's either the top two. I will probably only ever use this in the very early game, so we're going to stick it in the C tier. I think that's fair. Similarly to the Ancient Cities, our next one on the list also doesn't have a block form, so the Deep Dark is just Deep Slate. The new underground cave biome, which is where you can find these ancient cities, it's really cool, it's really gloomy, it's very dark inside of them, but if we're just focusing on the actual cave biome itself, I mean, there's not really a whole lot to it, it's just a dark, creepy cave, so B tier seems fair. And now, time for one of my favorite features of the Wild Update, frogs. Now, these guys, they don't really do that much, let's be honest. You can get frog lights from them, but the main thing is they can teleport apparently. Nope, they can just jump really high, and they're super cute, and I love all passive animals in Minecraft, especially ones I can make like little enclosures for or homes, and kind of keep them as a pet, so for that alone, it's an S tier mob for me. So as I said, you can obtain these frog lights from the frogs themselves. All you need to do is take them to the nether and get them to shoot a magma cube, I think. They eat them basically, and then they drop this frog light, which is kind of hard to do. That's no easy task. So obtaining these is already really hard, and I mean, they're cool. It's a new light block, which is always nice, but I honestly don't know how often I'm going to use this, if at all, so D tier. Terrifying, truly. Imagine hearing that in a multiplayer server, like having some sort of battle. I mean, like, it's just scary, isn't it? The goat horn. I love these. They're a little bit hard to get, I will say that, but they're so cool. I don't really play much multiplayer myself, so it's not actually that useful to me, but if I did, I think S tier, because it would just be so cool to mess with people. But me personally, just being a single player player for the most part, A tier, because yeah, like I said, they sound awesome. I love the sound design for these. Next up, we have what I'm currently looking at, which is the Mangrove Swamp biome. Definitely not my favorite biome, but definitely not my least favorite by any means. It doesn't look that great when you're looking at it from above, but if you kind of go around on a boat through all of the nooks and crannies of it, it's really, really immersive. Very cool biome, not really great for building in though, but still cool to travel around in, so we're going to put it in the B tier. And along with the Mangrove Swamp biome, we get a new wood type, Mangrove Wood, and this doesn't need much explaining. It's a new wood type. How could it not be S tier? And it's a really nice wood as well. That also helps it out. But yeah, any wood added to this game is great. Or, sorry, I should say super duper. It's a super duper wood. Now, I'm not going to rank every single mangrove block because there's a lot. Slabs, stairs, trapdoors, fences, all that sort of stuff. But something I am going to put on the board here are the mangrove roots, just because we don't really have this for any other tree in the game. It's an okay block, but it's sort of just very unique and a cool addition. So I don't know how much I'll use it. Honestly, I might put it down here. As I said at the start, doesn't mean it's bad. It just means I'm not that fussed about it. Mud. Mud is the next one, which actually has some cool technical properties, I'm pretty sure. I don't really know much about that aspect of it, but I know it's there. But me, as a builder, it's a nice looking block. Very good for terraforming and that sort of stuff. So I'm going to put it in the B tier. Yeah, that seems right. So we've had mangrove roots and mud. Now we have muddy mangrove roots. And I really like this block. I don't know how helpful it'll be if you're not already using mud in a build, but still, I love the textures on it, so I'm going to put it in the C tier with our chest boat. Something you can make out of mud, which I'm very, very excited for, are these mud bricks. A new stone type, basically, or something of that nature, so I'm actually going to put it up here, yeah, kind of at the same level with the new wood type in the S tier. I'm a builder, what can I say? I love the new blocks. If you haven't already figured it out, we're kind of going at this in alphabetical order, by the way. I've just got a list from the wiki and added a couple of other things too that I didn't find over there. Anyway, the next item is the new music disc, which isn't really music. It's more so a story. It's some very, very cool sound design. Whoever made this did a great job. Samuel Aberg, I'm not sure how to say that. It's really cool to listen to. If you haven't, I'd highly recommend doing that. But as far as a feature to Minecraft, I mean, if I get this record, I'm probably never going to play it. So for that reason alone, I'm going to put it down here in the E tier. And now we have, similarly to the mud bricks, packed mud, which I would be putting up here probably in the S or the A tier, but because we don't have any slabs or stairs or wall variants of this, it really only is this block and this block only, so whilst it's a very nice block, it could be a whole lot better. Next up, we have paintings, and no, I don't mean these paintings that have been in the game for years, I mean these new paintings that you can only acquire through commands. I don't quite know why these have been added to the game if that's the only way to get them. I don't fully understand. I haven't done too much research on it, but yeah, I think this is going to have to go in the F tier just because what's the point, right? They're cool, but I want to be able to get them in survival, and you can't do that right now. Next up, we have the Mangrove Propagule, which is basically the sapling for these mangrove trees, and they actually grow on the trees themselves, which isn't really something that we've seen before in Minecraft. You can't place them down, which is definitely a downside. I'd love to be able to place them upside down like we can here, but it definitely passes the plant pot check. Very nice decorative block. It's pretty cool. It's unique, something we haven't seen before, but overall, I mean, it's a sapling. What can I say? D tier. And now it's time for something that I feel is long overdue. Here we have the recovery compass, which basically points you to your last point of death. So if you die down in the caves or far away from base and you need to go back and get all of your items and you don't know where, this thing is going to help you out big time. Long overdue, as I said. Hopefully I won't need to use it all that often, but if I ever do, it's going to be extremely helpful. Kind of tempted to put it up here, but I think that might be overkill, so we're going to put it in the A tier. And now we have one of the new blocks added to this update, which I really wish wasn't as rare as it actually is. This is Reinforced Deep Slate, which looks fantastic as you can see. I really love the texture and design of that block. The trouble is it's really rare. There's only one point in the ancient cities you can get it in the big portal shape, and there's not even that many blocks of it. So if you could get this a bit more frequently, I'd probably put it right up here, but because it's so rare and tricky to get a hold of, I'm going to put it down in the B tier. And now it's time for all of these Skulk Blocks, and I don't know the best way to go about this. I think the first two we're going to have to focus on are the Skulk Catalyst, this block right here, and then the regular Skulk block. So the Skulk Catalyst, what it will do is when you kill a mob nearby, I think it will actually grow the Skulk Blocks around it, and these Skulk Blocks store XP from the mob, so it's kind of like an XP block, which is really awesome. Plus, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it has an animated texture, which is always really, really nice. So we're gonna, I feel like we have to put them both together because they're kind of a bit of a duo, aren't they? So I think B tier, yeah, B tier. You could probably use this in some cool farms. I wouldn't know, but I'm sure someone will come up with something. Next up, we have the Skulk Shrieker block, which is actually what summons the Warden down in the ancient cities. Now, you can harvest this with Silk Touch, though I don't know what implications that would have if you put it inside of your base. Whether or not a Warden would spawn there, I don't know. But looks alone, it looks fantastic, doesn't it? Such a cool block. It's animated with the little ghosts in the middle and gives off those terrifying noises. It's almost like when I talk, it's hearing me. And particles. Is a Warden about to spawn? I'm a bit worried. Awesome block. Kind of terrifying, honestly. Don't know how helpful it'll be in a survival situation, though, for buildings. So I'm going to put it in the C tier. The Skulk Vein, I mean, it is what it is. It's nothing special. I'm not too big on the texture. I like the animated side of it, but yeah, probably won't use this in that many builds, so I'm going to stick it along with our Froglight and Propagule down here in the D tier. And last but not least, where the Skulk is concerned, that is, we have the Skulk Sensor, which pretty much senses vibrations and outputs a redstone signal, which means here we have wireless redstone, which is just revolutionary, really. Now, if I was a redstoner, I'd probably make another tier above S and put it in that one alone, but I'm not. I hardly touch redstone at all, but I cannot deny its awesomeness, so I'm gonna have to put it in the A tier anyway. The next feature is the new Swift Sneak enchantment, which actually goes on leggings. I thought it went on boots. I was trying to figure out for so long why it wasn't working. But no, it goes on leggings, which that alone is pretty cool because we don't really have anything for that or the chest plate other than protection and thorns and unbreaking. So having your enchantment for the leggings is actually really cool. And I mean, look at me go. I'm so fast when I'm sneaking. It's going to be insanely helpful when you have to do lots of building like this. You know, up really high, doing long pillars. I cannot wait to get my hands on this in my survival world. Going to be extremely helpful. I think you have to go to the ancient cities to get it. So it's going to be a little bit tricky to get a hold of. But most certainly worth it. S tier for sure. The penultimate feature we have here is the Tadpoles, which are basically just baby frogs. They don't stay like this forever. This little guy will eventually grow up into a frog, so I can't really rate this too highly just because it's not really a permanent mob. It only stays like this for 20 minutes, I assume. That's usually the case with babies in this game, so I'm going to put it down here in the C tier. That seems like a good spot for it. Very, very cute though. I certainly cannot deny them that. Even if they're made up of like 20 pixels. And last, but most certainly not least, we have the Warden. The single-handedly most terrifying thing Minecraft will ever add to this game. This guy totally completes the deep dark in the ancient cities. As I've been saying, I'm very, very excited to explore this in my survival world and just be truly terrified of this. I cannot believe something like this has actually been added to Minecraft because honestly, down in the deep dark, he's seriously frightening. Up here, it's fine, because I'm out of the daylight, but yeah, I cannot wait to go adventuring and stumble across this guy, even if it is gonna scare me silly. So yeah, this guy, as you may have guessed, and I think a lot of you will agree here, it's S tier material, 100%. I may have made a bit of a mistake here because I can't really dispose of this Warden all that easily. He takes a while to kill, as you may know. So whilst we end off the video, you're going to have to listen to the Warden making some noises in the background. And some very loud noises they are. Oh, he's so awesome. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think of my tier list down in the comments below. And if you have been playing along, don't forget to finish up your comment and post it. I'm very excited to see what you guys think of all of the features in this update and how it compares to mine. So as I said, thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.